Hello to everybody, and the starting point for me is just to thank you all for being such positive and taking on what are very new roles, really. We're in very strange times with COVID. It's the biggest challenge I think we've faced from a health viewpoint in living memory, really, since the pandemic probably of 1918. Everybody's entering a new environment, and a scary one, potentially. I felt it myself going into areas where we know there's a lot of people suffering from COVID around. There's a degree of personal fear, particularly as a 58-year-old man who's at higher risk than some people. So I think we have to acknowledge all that, and that's why I am so grateful for people being so positive and flexible about stepping forward to help. We've had to stop recruiting to a whole range of other studies to focus on COVID, because we know that at the moment, entering into clinical trials is actually a patient's best chance of getting significant benefit, and probably will improve their chances of surviving this illness. So I think there's certainly a significant benefit for the individuals that we're going to see now. All the social distancing and all the other measures have made a big difference and given us some control of the epidemic that I think you might have seen already a little bit in Nottingham. The numbers have flattened over the last few days, which we're all really grateful to see. But actually, those are not going to solve COVID, and we need treatments that work to stop people dying of it, to shorten their illness. And we also need vaccines and a lot more study of why people get it, how it's transmitted, a lot of other factors that may happen outside hospital as well. We know that research is really the only way out of this. The responses I've seen so far have been fantastic. And actually, we've already set up a number of the key studies in COVID that are the ones that we have to deliver for our patients through the Chief Medical Officer. Those trials will change as we move forward. With if a new agent looks promising, it's likely to come into clinical studies. And we're also seeing a significant number of commercial companies with drugs that may act on COVID coming in. So I think in the short term, the focus will remain in that group of relatively sick people who are in hospitals. But I do think we need to be prepared for the fact that we're going to need to have studies of vaccines in healthcare workers, a lot of other things that would involve our colleagues as well as ourselves in clinical trials. There are different levels for the COVID research. There's the national studies, the Chief Medical Officer recommended ones. There'll also be some of our own local studies emerging through the universities, through our own researchers. But also, all of that will contribute to the international research effort as well. So WHO coordinates a lot of this in the background, and that information that we generate from our studies here can automatically be fed into other healthcare systems in other parts of the world. And of course, some of the drugs that we're going to use in the immediate trials that we have now are not expensive things, and they are going to be available to everybody wherever they are in the world. So I think these studies that we've seen come onto the portfolio now that we're being asked to deliver are just the start of a significant number over the next few months, really. So I don't think that COVID is going to go from our portfolio, and it's not going to go from our focus over the next few months. So again, finally from me, just to thank you all for the incredible positivity you've all shown in coming forward, and a big thank you.